What is going on, Paribus fam? Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you guys are having a good morning or good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from. My name is Fareed, and as a part of today's video, I want to talk about the mainnet launch of the Paribus MVP in their recently released 2023 roadmap. If it's your guys' first time hearing about Paribus, they're going to be a lending and borrowing protocol building on Ethereum as well as Cardano. They will be moving as a Cardano native project, focusing on synthetic assets and NFTs. Before we jump into today's content, if it's your first time stopping by, I aim to provide you guys in the Cardano community with the latest news, tutorials, and reviews for the top projects building on Cardano. If this type of content interests you, make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for myself about anything that we're chatting about today, then make sure to leave a comment down below. Now, if you guys are not already aware, I did recently become a single stake pool operator operating the Dapp central stake pool. And so if you guys are looking to earn passive ADA by staking your ADA, then consider staking with the stake pool ticker DAPP. I appreciate it. And so what I want to do is just jump over into the official Paribus Twitter. If you guys are not already following them, make sure to do so at Paribus_IO. As it states here about their Paribus MVP mainnet, we've been working diligently to ensure the MVP mainnet is as successful as possible. Since security is a top priority, the Paribus code is undergoing a second audit. Now, if you guys don't know, the first audit was performed by Twig, which is a pretty familiar face when it comes to crypto protocol audits, at least within the blockchain and specifically the Cardano ecosystem. Now, scrolling down just a little bit, we are working closely with Hacken Club to complete the safeguard for our community, but the final report has yet to be delivered. And so it looks like Hacken Club will be completing the second code audit for the Paribus MVP, and due to this, it's going to be, I think, delaying the actual mainnet launch. Now, this was supposed to be going on mainnet on January 31st, which is supposed to be a Tuesday, or excuse me, a Tuesday. However, it looks like that may not be the case, given the fact that they have not yet received the feedback from the Hacken Club team. Now, this is all assuming that there's no issues by the report provided by the Hacken Club team. And so if there are any bugs or issues, you would imagine that the Paribus team would need at least a few days, maybe a week or two, to get that fixed and then retested on their testnet again. So in closing, as it relates to this potential delay, this change to our timeline will push back the release of the mainnet to early February. So that actually confirms it right there. We will provide more updates on the audit and MVP launch next week. Thank you all for your patience and understanding. Okay, so that's really going to wrap it up there for the first update. The next update I want to highlight is going to be the recent release of their brand new 2023 roadmap. Now, this article was released on January 27th. It's a semi-short read, and this is going to be posted on their official Medium site. Again, if you guys are not following them on Medium, I recommend that you do so, and I will leave the link to their Medium page down in the description below. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to be able to highlight every single paragraph here. So what I've done is I've highlighted all of the key bits that I found to be useful. So starting from the very top, the first thing to note about our updated roadmap is that there are no dates. And so I think the Paribus team has learned, and it would actually be interesting to see if more crypto projects adopt this mindset, right? The fact that is, when you do share dates, 9 out of 10 times the community kind of holds your feet to the fire. And so it looks like the Paribus team is kind of trying to shift away from that and not providing any dates on their new roadmap. Now we're going to go in a little bit further and actually see what's included on the roadmap. But in our journey, we found that giving public dates can often be counterproductive. Although we use dates as internal targets, these are often flexible and adapt as situations change. Now, when we make those dates public, people tend to view them differently, seeing them as being more fixed than they actually are. This misunderstanding can often lead to unnecessary frustrations and doubts within the community. So this time we've adopted a Cardano approach of not publicly releasing dates for the roadmap. Now, we've also got an additional blurb here from Dennis, who is their CEO, who I will actually be interviewing very shortly. He states, "The roadmap is designed to be sequential. It is set in order of what we believe we will be able to accomplish. As we continue to develop, we realize that there is the real possibility of running into roadblocks. This may put us in a situation where it's more beneficial for the development team to finalize a different feature on the roadmap first. Many of these elements are being built and designed in unison. There are some definite benefits to this, but it can make selecting exact dates difficult." So it looks like they've got a bunch of active development going on at the same time. Now, if you're wondering what for, that's actually what we're about to get into now. So the first item on their updated roadmap is going to be their MVP. Now, as I mentioned before, the MVP appears to be delayed at least up until the Hacken Club team has finished their internal audit for the Paribus protocol code. So as it states here, the first priority will be to get the MVP out on the mainnet. So that's going to include the completion of their final audit, the release of the actual mainnet MVP, and then they're also going to be integrating synthetic assets. Now, if you don't know what a synthetic asset is, it's basically going to be a asset representing another asset. And what that does is give you price exposure to that said asset on the Cardano ecosystem without you ever actually having to leave or take your liquidity out of the ecosystem. So it's a pretty beneficial feature there. And it is something that we've already seen implemented with the Indigo protocol. What they've done is they brought IUSD, IBTC, and IETH, which are all synthetic representations of those tokens on the Cardano network. Now, jumping back into the article here, starting with our eagerly anticipated minimum viable product, or MVP, we deeply appreciate the tremendous patience the community has shown as we've iterated and developed the MVP to be the best offering it can be. On top of that, we're pleased to announce that it's now in the final stages of audit and security updates, ready for release in the very near future. Again, that's a reference back, I believe, to the Hacken Club audit. The next item here on the roadmap is going to be the reference to governance. So as it reads here, with the increasingly harsh tone coming from central banks and regulators alike towards crypto projects, we're pushing ahead with developing the governance mechanisms for Paribus. Now, this will not only be a core tenet of Paribus to decentralize control and governance of the project as soon as possible, but it will also help to protect its future long-term from overzealous regulation. So it looks like they're trying to get ahead of this as it relates to the regulatory headwind that we may see in the future cracking down on crypto. And what they want to do is give the power back to the people by allowing them to be autonomous in the way that they interact with the protocol and the way that they do on-chain governance to decide the future of the protocol. As it states here, we're currently researching not just the mechanisms for submitting and voting proposals, but also how we can code in some lessons learned from previous governance failures from other projects. So they're thinking forward here again. They're not only trying to implement what's already been done well, but they're also trying to circumvent or build and fix issues that they've already experienced or seen with additional protocols already live on the mainnet. The third item that we're going to be expecting on their updated roadmap will be NFT integrations. So central to our overall ethos is the ability to unlock the liquidity within NFTs and leverage these unique assets without having to actually sell them. Our plan is to be as far ahead of the curve so that we're ideally positioned for the increase in NFT liquidity as more new people enter the space. In addition, we're also planning our own NFT collection. Now, if you guys have been following Paribus, they did announce this NFT collection quite a while back, and it looks like it is still on their roadmap, but it's going to be their third key priority again after the mainnet MVP and their governance platform. In conclusion of this particular section, as their CTO states, Simon, as Paribus expands into NFT loans and metaverses, we believe that having a Paribus NFT will create more utility within our ecosystem. The use cases for NFTs are endless, and we're planning to incorporate various attributes that bring real-world value to our NFT holders. We look forward to sharing more about the specifics once we actually get closer to their release. Again, I'll do my best job to keep you guys posted, and as soon as we've got some actual sneak peeks of these NFTs, I'll make sure to share them with you guys as well. Now we are coming to a close here. We have, I think, 2 more sections. The 4th section of their roadmap, again, which has no dates around it, is going to be their institutional platform, or Paribus Pro. Now, this is the first time that I'm hearing about this, but I am excited to hear that they're essentially reaching out to bigger players with more liquidity to get into Paribus. Now, during the last bull run, we saw many blue chip institutions entering both the cryptocurrency and NFT space. To help cater to these specific clients, we're developing our institutional offering called Paribus Pro. Paribus Pro will feature KYC, or Know Your Customer, and AML technology, or anti-money laundering technology, as standard, which will allow greater flexibility on collateralization levels. So it looks like they're going to be able to provide more liquidity to members who are doxxed or who have their identity known and also background checked. In addition, we'll be integrating privacy protection elements to ensure sensitive commercial data isn't enshrouded so that people can't front-run institutions as they utilize our Pro platform. Really, really good news there. And again, I think that's breaking to me. That might be breaking to you. Let me know what you guys think about Paribus Pro and their plan for institutional adoption in the near future. Now, in closing, we're going to be talking about Metaverse adoption. So as Web3 technology scales and increases in complexity, the Metaverse is sure to be the frontier of new ways of working, studying, and socializing. That said, as such, we'll be developing our presence in several market-leading metaverses to ensure that we stay relevant. Expanding upon our NFT model, we'll also be developing our Metaverse mortgages offering. This will help to unlock vast swaths of liquidity within Metaverse real estate portfolios and help to grow their thriving ecosystems. The vision of utilizing NFTs for a loan collateral in a permissionless and non-peer-to-peer platform was the driving factor for the creation of Paribus. The completion and release of this feature to the public will be an achievement we can all be very proud of, says Wilson, their COO. So again, this is really, really good news. I'm excited about this. This is actually one of the main reasons why I heard and was such a big believer in Paribus, was because of their NFT-based collateralized loans. So I will be looking to take advantage of the NFT updates as well as the Metaverse updates once they're implemented. Now, if I scroll down towards the very bottom, we've got a comprehensive roadmap here. Again, first things first is going to be the release of the mainnet MVP once they finish the Hacken Club audit. After that, we're going to see the development of the vePBX platform, followed by an audit and a deployment of that. And then third, we'll see NFT partner integrations and NFT platform audit, testnet, mainnet, and their own NFT collection. And then, just like we talked about, we're also going to see Paribus Pro also follow the same steps, in which they'll have integrations, an audit, and a testnet, and then the same exact thing for the Metaverse adoption. So that is going to be it for today's video. Again, this is a project building on Ethereum, also migrating to Cardano as a Cardano native token. And on top of that, they've recently released their official Cardano native asset. And I'll go ahead and leave the policy ID to that down in the description below. But if you guys are looking to purchase the Paribus token, you can do so on any of the major dexes within the Ethereum ecosystem, as well as the Wing Riders dex on Cardano. If you guys have any questions about anything that we talked about today, please make sure to leave a comment down below as it relates to the pushback of the Paribus mainnet MVP and their updated 2023 roadmap. Now, before we close out this video, if you guys found this to be helpful, please make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for myself about Paribus or anything else, then make sure to leave a comment down below. And if you guys are not aware, I am now a single stake pool operator. And so if you guys are looking to support the channel, then please make sure to do so by delegating to the Dapp stake pool. I will be rewarding users with the Melt and Genius Yield tokens from the months of March all the way through May. So again, jump in there, delegate, support the channel. I appreciate you guys spending the time with me here today. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day or a wonderful weekend. I will catch you guys in the next video.